Greetings, everyone. This is it's been a while, right, guys? Been a while. I just want to say that yeah, I mean I haven't like quit AirMech or anything. If you guys watch or keep track of forums, I still post regularly. My post count goes up quite a lot just because I mostly post in council nowadays. But yeah, I'm just gonna try to do a cast every now and then. You guys are still sending in replays, and you know, other casters have been getting this, and it's been doing a lot of videos. But yeah, thanks for that. Thanks for still supporting the AirMech. It's, you know, whatnot, all the replay submissions and all that stuff. That's been great. Yeah, I'm not gonna try to go back into full like doing like 2 or 3 a week type of thing. I'll probably do 1 or 2 here and there. Yeah, I haven't cast in a really long time, guys. So forgive me if this is really poorly done and stuff like that. I guess I have to get back into it, practicing spectating, camp control, and everything like that. But other than that, let's get into the game. So here we go. This is going to be a ranked 1v1 on Duel. This is ranked, right? Yes, it was. And it will be between the Carbon player in the upper right side. Oh, upper left side. See, I'm messing up my directions already. It is going to be ShadowUltima in a Gothic Bomber flying with Frank, which is basically Beppo, I think, now. Which hasn't changed too much since the new stats. And his opponent's blue player in the bottom right, it is nukebust in a police striker with Ash, the flight efficiency. I think it's still the flight efficiency pilot, right? I can't remember. Like, stuff off the top of my head just kind of evades me sometimes. But opening with 4 boomers with, I'm not sure if he's going for outpost. Oh, both people are cheesing. Or no, I'm not sure. Oh, so he's going for harass. Didn't find anything. Trying to kill a T-45. I don't know if that's necessarily worth the opening trade-off. But ShadowUltima has been able to have all of his SAMs still survive that opening attack. The one Seeker's not really going to stand too much of a chance after the SAMs go in. Nukebust does come back to respond to this, but actually is a little bit low on health. Will he be able to actually survive this? No, he will not. ShadowUltima getting that first blood and reinforcing his cheesed outpost with some T-45s, which will actually, it'll probably do the job. Nukebust, oh yeah, see, this was not there before. That respawn timer count thingy in Spectate. No, I think actually even in actual games, yeah, they do display that. The first time I saw that was a couple months ago, and I was like, whoa, why do they even add that? But yeah, whatever, man. Nukebust trying to fight for his outpost, fight back for his outpost. And ShadowUltima with enough T-45s to be able to hold the line here. I would not be very afraid of this if I was ShadowUltima. Maybe want to throw it. Okay, I was going to say 1 or 2 healing units down, but already coming out with a honeypot, so he's a step ahead of me. Nukebust trying to fight, and okay, already has 1 Archie out on the field. Did lose a couple tanks in that approach, though. ShadowUltima might actually be able to just finish this very quickly. If he just keeps it up and tries to, you know, he can even just leapfrog and start positioning these units over here because he is actually ahead on the income as well with that additional outpost under his control, and with that, what's it called? I think the okay, hold on. I think the volume might be a little bit high. Let me change the I don't know. I haven't cast in a while, guys, so I'm just gonna turn the sound effects down. I'm sorry if you. I'm sorry. I can't tell personally. I can't tell when I'm listening. Dominating. Yeah. Anyway, when I'm listening to the cast. But anyway, 1 Artie pointing in. Artie or Archie? That is an Archie because I guess the Artie has too short of a range to be meta right now. But ShadowUltima bombing in on Buckies. The Buckies actually will die with enough repeated bombing runs from a bomber. Although, okay, level 1 bombs, yeah, level 3. So he's not going to get too far. Level up ability is pretty important nowadays because it does lead to unlocking the ultimate units, or not, you know, the ultra units, super units, whatever you want to call it. ShadowUltima getting that focus on Nukebust. Nukebust not keeping his eye on his health. And does look like he will be able to, oh man, he can just do the little circle thing, the circle with bombs over here, and he wouldn't be able to get those Buckies killed. Those Buckies were actually pretty low on health. ShadowUltima just doing the straight back and forth bombing runs, which is getting him hit by a lot of those secret missiles. Let's see, 1, 2 honeypots down on the field. Might want to just throw down 1 more and maybe 1 leading unit in the front to take most of that damage coming in, and you know, to be the target that the artillery are firing at. But with the Buckies actually firing in as well, a lot of these units might not be able to survive for that long. But ShadowUltima has a lot more artillery pointing in than Nukebust. It is 26-22 with a crap ton of units down on the board. Let's see, 1, 2 Seekers, 3 Seekers down from nukebust. Nukebust really, really worried about those bombing runs, I guess, or at least, at the very least, the bomber melee landing harass. Yeah, plenty of artillery. Look, it's really cool to see actually all those look at all those artillery lines firing in. It looks pretty damn awesome. But nukebust is actually holding zone here, dropping a couple bombers. I don't think they have that damage on death, but let's see what does ShadowUltima have over here. There's nothing doing ground attacking defense over here. It's just the T-45 like way out here. ShadowUltima now with Mantis Strike. Mantis Strike was buffed recently, so it does actually do quite a lot of damage compared to, you know, patches of old. And so, you know, if he actually chooses to level that up, he can actually, oh, nukebust getting a little too close, pausing for a little too long, does get himself killed. 28 to 21, so it's not like it's a commanding lead for ShadowUltima or anything like that, but with all these artillery firing in, does look like nukebust will eventually, well, all of his units will probably go down. A couple of boomers do go down, and yeah, with the T-45s is the only thing defending over here. Oh, the SAMs, I didn't factor in the SAMs, so the SAMs are also actually probably killing those boomers as well. I didn't really get to see if they went off. I think they should probably, like, you know, ramp up that animation so you can really see it. It's really hard to just to tell if they went off or not. Honestly, can you really see it, guys? Like when you're playing, even when you're the one dropping or defending, it's a little bit difficult sometimes to see that the boomers actually did go off. But nukebust getting pushed back further and further toward his fort, and ShadowUltima, you know, yeah, with plenty of units, but none of them are mobile, which is a little bit funny to see. Like, what does he have in his loadout that can actually... Jackals does not have a mainline tank, which is a little bit interesting. He does have Goliaths, which is probably what he's waiting for right now, which I guess would be the safe choice, switching out a couple of artillery and probably the T-45s as well for Goliaths eventually. Oh, but ShadowUltima, or sorry, nukebust with the auto build. What is he build? What is he do? Oh, he's doing the probe circle thing. Oh, man, but they're gonna hit a wall right here, and they will die to the SAMs. So let's see if this actually works. Oh, but he will synchronize it with a push in. Will the probes be enough to... Oh, there are not really that many ground defense units over here, just 2 T-45s, so ShadowUltima will probably lose a lot of units in this push. Whether or not it will be enough to overtake the outpost for nukebust, that's yet to be seen, but a lot of these probes are distracting anything that's over here, and this outpost will get neutralized very, very quickly by ShadowUltima. What is he building right now? Just building SAMs to reinforce this outpost, not repositioning any of his artillery to supplement this fight, and the outpost does go down to neutral. ShadowUltima kind of here swinging at nothing. I'm not really sure. I guess he's trying to keep it from nukebust's control because of all those probes coming in, but and the probes are actually on an auto-deploy loop, so they're not really going to get too far. But ShadowUltima really low in health. Probably just want to stand still right in the middle of these units to regain health, but a little bit too late for that, obviously. So nukebust getting that kill on ShadowUltima, and nukebust will likely clear the rest of these units as they're pretty much all AA in artillery, just 2 T-45s, which are definitely not threatening to almost anyone, to be quite honest. They are just, you know, quick, kind of cheap throwaway units that you know, pump out if you really need them, if you're kind of in a pinch. That's what they're kind of for. They've been very, very heavily used for cheesing, and nukebust keeping this outpost away from ShadowUltima's control, killing at least 1 infantry before all 4 get to go in. ShadowUltima forced to dish that Seeker right there, getting killed by that Goliath. Oh, but yeah, I completely forgot about the boxes. In the meantime, during all that fight, there's been like 8 boxes dropped down on the field. Okay, well, technically 3 times 2, so 6. And ShadowUltima's grabbing all of them. Nukebust doesn't seem to realize that they're there. I mean, not like I did either. So, but he can just, okay, so he is going to do the probe thing around the mid. He's going to try to use them to distract mid, but, you know, against neutrals, not as productive. They will keep your units from getting fired upon, yes, but it's probably a better use of your probes and your, you know, the credits you're investing into them to use them against your opponent's units rather than neutrals. But okay, ShadowUltima now employing some bot spawners. Didn't realize he had those in his loadout. Not really paying too hard of attention, not gonna lie. But now nukebust gonna probably, oh, what is he doing? Okay, yeah, I was gonna say cancel that auto deploy loop, and he is going to once again draw a loop around mid while ShadowUltima is just recycling boxes, cashing in 70,000 credits worth of units, and he really better be using the multiple outpost thing and queuing up units in more than one, or else he might not be able to keep up with the... Oh, that's a lot of SAMs. Did not realize that. Should have took a look at my minimap. And now the bot spawners are going to start to pour in the infantry. 4 here, none on the other outposts, I guess. Yes, that's it. So he just has the 4, but right now nukebust is actually getting control of mid, hasn't been able to clear the majority of the units over here, just 1 Longhorn left, and that will go down at any second now, and has been able to take the middle outpost, but it's just, look, probes and creeps, so I don't know how long he'll be able to hold this. 2 artillery pointing in. Nukebust needs to reallocate his units and probably put a couple of healing units down if he wants to sustain them against artillery firing in. Oh, and nukebust, oh sorry, ShadowUltima now deciding to push in with those SAMs. Does nukebust have sword? Yes, he does. So if he realizes these SAMs are coming in and he has good enough movement, he will be able to use that AoE of the sword to be able to kill all these SAMs, and he has been able to kill a good amount, but they all clump up right at the beginning, right at front right there. They kind of just all stop in the same spot. Don't really fall into any formation or anything like that. So nukebust was able to kill them all pretty much in 1 or 2 or 3 swipes. The Goliaths are here because ShadowUltima is level 7, but will he be able to survive long enough to keep that Goliath alive? And he does. He does not get finished off by that focus fire by nukebust. And does nukebust is also level 7, has the missiles ability, so might be able to, it's a little bit hard at level 1 with level 1 missiles, but might be able to get a focus out over on ShadowUltima over any outposts that he is hovering, which would be this one. And ShadowUltima now trying to use that Mantis Strike, but not going to be that productive. I mean, he's not fighting an Osprey or anything, so nukebust is not going to be able to keep this outpost under his control, but ShadowUltima leapfrogging up when nukebust decides to push in, and this is a lot of pressure right now by nukebust. It's 57-38. Nukebust way outnumbering ShadowUltima, but ShadowUltima as that bomber might be able to support these support this defense, and nukebust is actually losing a lot here. Those Goliaths are tanking a ton of damage. T45 does go down in front to distract as well. Quick production units, while ShadowUltima still has a ton of credits in his bank. Nukebust also actually has a lot of credits, almost 40k, now just hitting the 40k mark, not producing anything right now. Could probably just keep pumping out Longhorn, but he has been able to clear a couple of the Goliaths here, 28-27, so it is evening out right now. ShadowUltima, I'd like to see him land and slash, oh, but he did get finished off by nukebust. I was going to say if there aren't that many secrets, but let's see, there were 2, and he was actually low in health, so that probably wouldn't have been a good move. Either way, nukebust did get the kill, and he will be able to clear the rest of the units over here, almost undoubtedly, because he does have an artillery unit firing in, and ShadowUltima now just respawning. Nukebust still queuing up. Oh, over here. Oh, because Nukebust. Oh, okay, ShadowUltima's creeps from the bot spawners have actually, I didn't notice that either, have been able to take the middle outpost under his control. The T45s will actually go down pretty quick to the Longhorn, but now ShadowUltima here to support. And Nukebust now did not, he was not able to clear, you know, the rest of the units here and take that outpost under his control. ShadowUltima taking that middle outpost due to those bot spawners, and now he does have the upper hand, although he doesn't have the upper hand in upkeep. It's 22-29 right now. Nukebust creating a small army here at his close outpost. He did lose his forward as well. Those bot spawners working wonders. 1v1. Really do think that the solution is probably right now to increase the cost and possibly the build time for bot spawners. I know that suggestion was upkeep, but just to keep it, it's inconsistent. You know, I really hate changing consistency up with similar types of units. You know, that's why we're likely going to, you didn't hear it from me, guys, but we are likely going to take away the upkeep benefit, which is 0 upkeep on socket for offensive sockets. That's probably going to happen sometime soon. But anyway, ShadowUltima now with a 28-23 upkeep advantage, with a massive map advantage, so it does look like he will eventually be able to creep his way toward nukebust's fort and get the win, unless nukebust can retrieve enough boxes. Let's see how many are on this side right now. There are 2 on this side as well. ShadowUltima with a, okay, I was gonna say he has a slight credit lead, but with nukebust cashing in all of those boxes, he will be able to get the lead for now, I guess, in terms of overall credits in his bank. He has 38 upkeep in his or on the field right now. A couple of those are in lighter units like these boomers. Oh, he will be able to kill these bot spawners. I'm a little surprised he didn't drop like 1 on each one. Now the last boomer was going for that other bot spawner, but ShadowUltima was actually able to save 1 of them, so only 2 got killed just now, rather than the potential for maybe with those boomers going off. I'm not exactly sure what could have happened, but nukebust is now a little bit ahead in the upkeep, grabbing those 2 boxes. Let's see, there are now 3 over here and 2 over here, sure. But ShadowUltima, let's see, ferrying some creep, just some creeps. He will probably be able to get this outpost neutralized. Will he be able to take this outpost and take it with, and protect it with T45s like he did with the other cheese? And yes, he is actually doing that right now. Nukebust losing that corner outpost, only has 1 left, but has a ton of tanks right here, and might even be able to path around mid might not even need a path around mid, honestly. There's just T-45s. That's not that threatening, especially against this quantity of tanks. And does he have any Seekers? Here he is, 3. So that's definitely enough. That's definitely enough, especially with a striker supporting. Oh, man, when did nukebust die? I was looking around the map, and now ShadowUltima is the one that's being able to retrieve and sell those boxes. Going to be able to get a big influx of cash here. nukebust will probably be able to take this outpost back under his control as ShadowUltima is nowhere near it. Actually, no, it's really well protected. Another T-45 on socket and 2 Seekers protecting from the mech, so the mech's not going to be able to pour damage in. And ShadowUltima just leisurely selling off those credit boxes. I don't know if that's the best use of his time right now. He probably wants to scout around. nukebust is pushing out right now, and the middle outpost is kind of okay. But I was going to say, before these 2 Goliaths, it was relatively undefended, but now the 2 Goliaths are down. The T-45s alone probably would not have been able to do it against the Longhorn, but nukebust is actually pushing on T instead of Y. He does decide to mass hold him right here. I'm not really sure why. Maybe he's going to start to create an artillery clump to approach that mid. No, drops the honeypot. No artillery on the field, and he's out of upkeep right now. So I'm not sure. Maybe he just decided, uh-oh, I can't push mid. I can't push the forward. I'm not really sure why he decided he couldn't push the forward. This was very lightly defended comparatively. But I guess ShadowUltima could have just ferried some of these goalies over here to protect this. So yeah, it's a very short ferry distance. So even though he didn't have any defensive units over at the forward, it was just a couple of seconds away from being defended with Goliaths. nukebust forced to pull out. Would have liked to see him try to focus ShadowUltima down like that, but didn't get the finish there. And just push straight in. With a little bit of distract, there were only 2 Goliaths. Again, he could have tried to push around mid, maybe this way. There's neutrals over here. That's a little bit dangerous. Duel. I know a lot of people love Duel. I don't think it is the perfect map. It's a good map, but definitely has its flaws. nukebust now finally able to get that focus on ShadowUltima. Now might be the prime opportunity to push, especially this outpost is not very well defended. A couple of Seekers going down with a couple T-45s. Needs to go now while ShadowUltima is out of the battle. 6 seconds left, but now just decides to continue to pull back. I'm not really sure what he's planning to do with these Longhorn. I guess heal them up with these honeypots or something like that. Coming out with Seekers, just still really afraid of the bombs, but realistically, you probably don't need more than even 4. 4 is plenty enough. 3 is even pushing it, especially if you're there to defend, and it's a 1v1, so you should be there. You got to be there to help fire in. ShadowUltima would not have been able to get any productive use out of those bombing runs if you had that many Seekers there and you were there to protect, with your mech as a striker, even though he is a Frank like that, just like that. He needs to just keep his eye on ShadowUltima. And if he could actually get a fire on ShadowUltima as he's coming in, rather than once he's there and then starting to shoot at him, that's kind of one of the keys there. One of those old habits, man, old practices, man. Bringing back the nostalgia here mentally for me. But ShadowUltima with a ton of Goliaths, 9 on the field, 1 coming out. nukebust not there to support his push. Not really sure why not. Really needs to. Already has that auto-deploy loop with the probes. Doesn't need it because there's no defending units over here. ShadowUltima does go down. nukebust should push on Y right now, in my opinion, because he's so far behind. He has almost no hope of taking this. There are so many Goliaths on the field. ShadowUltima could just decide to push into nukebust, and he would have almost no problem, overwhelming these Longhorn with the ton of Goliaths he has over here. A little bit too many 245s for my taste. Probably wants to switch some of those out for Seekers. However, now in the latest patch, Recycle does not give 100% resale value. OMG, guys, I know, right? It's been like that for 4.5 years, however the hell long the game's been in existence. But yeah, no longer get full resale value. Never should have been like that in the first place, to be quite honest. But now ShadowUltima is pushing in on T. This is going to be cleaned up very quickly. Maybe 2 Goliaths will die, but I don't even think that's going to happen. Probably just 1. This is a lot of Goliaths. Gothic Goliaths, Black Goliaths. They look really cool. And ShadowUltima is going to easily clean this up. nukebust has nothing left. 76 to 18. ShadowUltima might want to just mass select Y. Come on. Control fly around circles Y. Y. And that's pretty much all that he needs to do left. Even though nukebust does have enough money to produce, clearly 6 Longhorns in production right now. Still not going to be close to what ShadowUltima, not only what he has on the field, but what he can also produce in parallel at the same time as nukebust is producing his units as well. More Seekers coming out on the field. nukebust trying to do whatever he can, retrieving as many boxes as he can, but it's probably too late. This game will end in the next minute or so, depending on if ShadowUltima pushed on Y or if he pushed on T. If you scout the fort has jack on it. There's 2 Longhorn that nukebust just made, and it looks like ShadowUltima is actually pushing on T. Not necessary, but it's definitely the safe way to go. I don't know if he scouted. Yeah, I don't know if he scouted. Either way, the scout basically tells him he can win anything that he does, that he tries to do right now. 86 to 22 out of 112 for ShadowUltima, so plenty of room to make more units, but overcommits on that whirlwind. I'm not exactly sure what the deal was there, but does go down. It's not really that constant. Like, it's pretty. It's an inconsequential death right now, because the game is pretty much over. However, just something to keep note of. That wasn't necessary. ShadowUltima was kind of just like YOLOing, because he was definitely way the hell ahead, doing that whirlwind. And look at all the units that he has. So yeah, even if he wasn't even there to begin with, even if he just decided to sit there and do nothing, he would have been fine. So now nukebust will be able to take this corner outpost, or at least, yeah, neutralize it, take it back under his control. ShadowUltima doing, again, whirlwinding. Please don't die again. Please don't die again. Just needs to go highlight his units and say why. Oh god, he's going to get himself killed again. This game is lasting a little bit longer than it really needs to. It could have just pushed from the forward to the fort directly and got the kill. But, again, that's AirMech. Cest AirMech, right? Is that even right? I don't even know. I'm just like making stuff up off the top of my head. Either way, nukebust taking that corner post back under his control with those level 4 creeps. It is 18 minutes and 56 seconds into the game. Plenty of time has passed. But right now, ShadowUltima, is he going to decide to just end it, or is he going to... Okay, there you go. This will end it unless he pushed on T again. So in that case, what would happen is it goes this way. Okay, he is calling the GGWP, so he did push on Y. But if he did push on T, I'm just saying, it would have gone here, past the fort, and onto this outpost, which would have been ridiculous. Might have killed... Might even be able to finish the fort on the way with 14 Goliaths on the field. The level indicator for the abilities on spectator control is not working, so that's unfortunate. Okay, so nukebust gonna die 28 to 87 right now. There is nothing for him to do but to just wait for inevitable demise, and there you go. GG. ShadowUltima taking this ranked 1v1 on Duel over nukebust. Nukebust kinda had it when he took that when he pushed, but he I guess he didn't leave anything to keep the middle outpost away from ShadowUltima's control, and then I think he died in that push. And well, either way, God, my memory's so bad, but either way, that push from mid to at the time that nukebust grabbed mid, the game was pretty much his. He just needed to mass up enough, play it safe. I mean, I'm not necessarily an advocate for playing it safe. I actually kind of don't like that style of play, but I mean, yeah, just sitting at mid, massing up a little bit more, pushing into the forward carefully, you know, properly. I think he kind of hesitated, but yeah, you know, just dropping 1 or 2 distraction units, basically sacrificial units, to allow your units to approach, kind of, you know, AirMech 101, abusing the targeting system that is in the game. Could have done that. I would have liked to see what would have happened if he successfully took that outpost under his control and maybe left 1 or 2 units to handle the incoming creeps. Not that is a standard, but I mean, I guess that's just something that he could have done in hindsight. So yeah, guys, I'm not necessarily trying to cast a ton of games right now. I just felt like doing it tonight. Hopefully we're going to get some stuff straightened out. Carry speed formula is finally getting straightened out after a really long time trying to work on it, getting a couple of bugs actually out of that system, and rebalancing carry weights. That's kind of just what's on my plate right now. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Hopefully the deploy system, I guess this is the first cast I've ever done with the modern deploy, auto deploy, ARM deploy system. I don't know what you want to call it, but yeah. Essentially doesn't change too much in terms of the core gameplay. I do realize it feels a lot different. I felt it, guys. When I first tried it, I was like, wow, this is really different. I really don't like how I don't get to, you know, precisely pull the units just like everyone else, right? But it's definitely something that is worth a shot to try right now. I mean, they spent all this time and effort implementing it. They need to see it through before, you know, should they decide to remove it, they can't just go, oh, you know, 1 or 2 weeks in testing, you know what I mean? So that's why it's lasting this long, should they ever decide to take it out. But we'll see what happens in the future. Okay, guys, yeah, keep sending in your replays. I know the amount of casts, not just me, but other casters have been kind of low recently, except for Dissonant's been doing a good job keeping up with the replay submissions. So thanks to Dissonant for keeping the YouTube casting community alive. But yeah, guys, if anyone else wants to try casting, definitely me or Dissonant or really anyone that's prominent or, you know, more active in the community, just give us a talk, or just, you know, shout out. And, you know, everyone is really always open to new, you know, community people to, you know, do stuff like this, run tournaments, cast games. We need more of it. AirMech needs more of it. Okay, guys, this is areyouwhy, and that is game. This is a really long rant, so see you next time.